I really learned what we talk about when we say that the grass isn't greener. We always hear that phrase, but I'd never applied it to myself. And I think a lot of the convent, I had to admit, in the end, so much of the pull was the exterior. You can get very caught up in the ideal of something and in the visual of something, and you can let that be your driving force to pursue something. But then when you realise, and this happened to me very quickly, the gloss comes off and you think, actually, it's still beautiful, but it's not something that I can sustain for the rest of my life. I'm enough as I am, and my relationship with God wouldn't be made any better just because I'd changed location and moved into a convent. And the novice mistress who I was with, she said, good, I'm glad you're feeling this. I'm glad because it's real, it's honest, it's part of the ride to admit to yourself all of these deep things, because that's what gets you to your next point. There's nothing wrong with saying, I want to give this a go. You know, and everybody around me said to me, you know, if you don't try this, you'll have it niggling. So the niggles always need to be faced and answered. And the sisters would say so often that God's will for us is our deepest desire. And it's such a beautiful line. I was sitting in the novitiate so often, my study in the monastery, which I had to myself because I was the only one in formation. That was lovely. So every morning after Mass, it was a few minutes before we had to start work, and I was watching the squirrels and watching the trees and the pheasants and just thinking, God's will is my deepest desire. So in that monastic environment, I'm thinking, this is what I've wanted for so long. But there's another desire to not give up the music, to realize that what we want and what we're drawn to is okay. That's what we should strive for. One of my favourite quotes of St. Catherine of Siena is when she says that people will literally set the world on fire by being who they're called to be. We literally blaze because we're aligned with that divinity. Everybody, I think, knows how it feels to feel out of sync with it. Just any niggles that say, I'm not quite where I should be, dig and the Spirit will come, give you absolutely everything you need to just redirect, if that's what it is, or to leave something, or to pursue something new. You know, and I have this image, this sense of collective community that imagine what it would be like if everybody were to do that and to be so faithful. And I think the vibration of the entire planet would just soar. It would absolutely soar, and the presence of God would sit so vast. I believe this is Jesus' teachings on the kingdom, that absolutely it's within all of us, and to bring it about we change, we struggle, we grow, and then we shine, and then everybody else does, and it's like the living Spirit, and that globally, cross fingers.